Be there in a minute.
What are you doing, kitty cat?
Give me a minute. I'll be there in a minute. Just give me a minute.
Okay, no one's here. That's okay. Edit. Odyssey. Save changes. Okay. Where am I? Where will I begin? What will I talk about? First, let me put up this post here. If you have any questions about this post, do not hesitate to ask me. It seems like every single question that anybody has ever asked, somehow there is an augur-like answer to the question. When I say augur-like answer, it means there's a twisted answer. There's really no simple way to explain what goes on, but other than the hypothesis, the way we look at it. Oh, well, that's not what you mean, and that's not what it is. That's what we're always told. Oh, yeah, it just matches. It doesn't mean anything. No. Since the beginning of time, even the smallest seed, well, of course, this falls down and that falls down and the rain goes down and then the heat, the fire and the heat. And anyways, I don't know how to say this. So we're going to keep it simple to start with. It's better that if I just wrote it down, it'd be very hard to understand. Just to note that my C's always look like E's, right? That's why I like to write in capitals, because if I wrote in small, that would look like an E, right? That's an E, that's a C, that's a K. Now, where do we get the K from in the deck of cards? Let me see this, right? We have a deck of cards here. We have the king. Now, if you take a look at the king, see the way it's not on, it's sort of like over where they meet. And one of the possible reasons for that is that when you use 3 areas, right? When you use 1 area, 2 areas, 3 areas, what happens is you take 3 areas, and the top area would be here, and the bottom area would be here. So how in the world can we make these 2 match without this one coming up here and this one coming down there? And that would be your true match. And if you really look at this, there's a lot more going on in here than the actuality, because anytime you have an X, it means 10. And anytime you have a V, it's going to be 5, right? But in here, when it's cut off, when this part is cut off here, that V is no longer a V, and now it looks like an L because it was split inside the square, right? So is that telling me with 2 L's or 2 wings, right? We can fly. Is this showing me 2 pointers? So is this showing me KK coming together as 1111, or should we just go and create the K this way? The K, although it's the 11th letter, K is the 11th letter. When you play cards, it just so happens, right, when I pulled this card out of the deck, it happened to be the 13th card. Now, if I count it as the first card, I'll say number 1. When I count it at the 13th card, because there's 13 cards, right? When I add these all up, it equals to 91. But in between 2 and 12, it equals to 77. 91 is the spirit. 77 and it will create the student of Earth and Mars. Note that Mars is 51, that Earth is 52, and it equals the total 103. And the initials of 10-3, right, are JC, like Jesus Christ. It's also 13, which is also AC. So sometimes we see AC as air condition. We don't have to add the ER onto it. We're just going to stop at condition. It is the AC condition. And the condition that comes in is the condition in man. Now, why would it be the condition in man? Why would it be the 13th card king? One of the reasons is that man, which is numeric value 28, okay, notice that AM and AN is inside of man, and MN, like put the moon in there, but let's not count that. The 28 cycle is that the bar mitzvah happens at the age of 13, but it's 13 years ending of 169 plus 1 and 1 moon. Where do I get this from? Every year, 13 moons, 13 times 13 years, 169 moons. The moon leaving and the moon coming equals to what is 171. And that is your Q gate to Mars. Now, why would I say that? Well, 1 times 7 equals to 7. 1 plus 7 equals to 8. 8 plus 7 equals to 15. 51 is the numeric value for Mars. We would have 4 times 15 equals to the 60 seconds on the clock. We will have 6 times 15 equals to the 90-degree angle, or 9 and 6 in rotation of who we are noted to be Terre des Hommes. You know, when you watch a mystery story, you don't understand until the end, and you go back and you look at everything and say, oh, yeah, I understand. If you don't put out all the pieces of the puzzle, all the connecting pieces to understand, then we'll never know. 33 times 47. Numeric value of 47 is for time. If you want, we can just use for the time or time. This equals 33. The or time is 54, 33, 21. Now, what does this have in conjunction? The word love is number 54. The word son is number 54. Now, I'm a little upset because I'm missing something here. Just give me a second. Oh, yeah, here it is. No, that's not it. I don't want to lose my thought. Wow, this is very, very, very funny. I'm missing my Rubik's Cube. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm missing my Rubik's Cube. I don't leave the desk. I don't go nowhere. Don't take it away from my desk. I hope I don't forget. Don't forget where we are. Let me see. Where is Rubik's Cube? right beside me. This Rubik's Cube, just like this cube. Now, have you ever seen games before that they show you the game in one block? I like to look at this on many levels. This is one of the level blocks. Imagine that the inside of this Rubik's Cube was one of these. And imagine if you connected wires to each one of these dots. And then eventually they break out into these cubes. And imagine if each one of these cubes had the same face. Instead of the color, each one of these was a cube. And every side has actually 9 dots per side. 9, 9, 9, 27, 27, 27. That would be 81. 81 times 6. Is it 486? 486. 864. 86,400 minutes in a day. 86,000 or 864,000 miles, I think it is, for the diameter of the moon. 6 days of creation times 1,440 equals 8640 times 313, because we're broken up at the 7th gate by that odd number, connecting the left to the right with the one body. 3 times 8640 equals to 25,920, which is the long Mayan count, divided by 60. Equals to the vibration, or 432, which is 3 days of 1,440 minutes toward the 4th cycle. It's always 3 and 4. Splitting things between the number 3 and 4 when it comes to the alphabet, between the 13 and the 14 is 13.5. 13th letter and the 5th letter, matter and energy. I like to look at 13 as 1 and 3 and not 10 and 3, although I said Jesus Christ because it's 103, right? I like to use it because in French, and I've got to go to other languages also, but in French, they say 13, 12, 11, 14, 15, 16. But when they get to 17, 18, 19, they don't say it anymore like that. They say 10, 7, 10, 8, and 10, 9. If we don't classify, okay, if we don't classify every object, every line, every dot, every letter, and every single word, and understand area space, how can you ever know the true flower that object is? How can you understand the flower? Because what happens to that flower? Oh my God, they took the flower to the science center. They tore it apart. It didn't look like a flower. Now it was carbon. Now it was somewhere on the periodic table, and that was your flower on the periodic table. The same thing for the alphabet. It breaks up to be gone onto the periodic table, and the periodic table has letters. And every single letter can be broken up itself, so you can understand through the letter why they called what they did like gold, AU, or silver, AG. I mean, they all got numbers. So silver AG, okay, is telling me about number 17. Now, how do I get 17? The simple way. For the students, for the children of creation, because that's who we are. Morpheus, Orphalin, Orphan. They even put it out on the roulette table, and they told us about the moon, time, electric on the roulette table, where they specified 5775, where ironically that number in years, 5775 times 13 moons equals 75,075. The numeric value for electric is 75. We're just classifying things now. The numeric value for moon is 57. And also the inverted word M-A-R-S, Mars, which you can also use Z in Mars, the 26th letter instead of the 19th letter, right? 19 is 1, 26 is 8. 1 and 8 is actually 1. Look at it. We see 9 areas. 1 and 8 come together. 2 and 7, 3 and 6, 4 and 5, 5 and 4, 6 and 3. But it doesn't come together as 7 and 2. The house of Beit, money. Another thing I wanted to say is that I said it's all 9s. It can also be only 4 and 1. The reason for that is a builder's code, right, is only to crisscross here. You cannot find the exact cut. So we crisscross and we only end up with 4. 9 by 4 is 36 times 6, 216. Diameter of the moon, 2160. 1.5 times 1440 minutes in a day equals to 2160. And now I want to say something about 9, 0, and 6. You flip a 9 upside down, you roll it over, it looks like a 6. The number 6, 3 by 6 is 18. Okay, 1 plus 8 equals to 9. 3 plus 6 equals to 9. So again, 3 and 6, how it comes into 9. I'm losing myself. There's too many things going on, but I'm going to continue to explain this. The 15th letter in the alphabet is the letter O. Looks like a 0. I like to use it for 1 and 5 equals to 6. There are other situations, and you're allowed to put 0 onto the end of things. If you go in 0.000, you can now go 0.666. So the diameter of the moon is 2160. When you count 1 through 15, the number of pool balls on a table, you will equal to 120, or how about 126, not counting the 0 as 0, but counting it as 6, and also noting that 9 plus any number and added up to a single digit will equal to that single digit number. So what can happen is since 6 flips into 9, we can now add, instead of 9 to any of those numbers, we're now going to add 6 to any of those numbers, and we're going to move the entire alphabet or every single number over, but not without understanding that it already exists. Because on this cube, when you turn it over, the 1 becomes the 6. The 0, everything that goes around the donut hole creates that 0 and 1, to where there's 8 voided spaces, to where there's 6 dots. I know it's confusing. I'm still trying to put a few things together. I got to get, I got to illuminate. I got to get my Holmes and Watson in there, right? Holmes and Watson. Holmes as OH, I think M. Is that with electricity or vibration? And not Watkins. I didn't say Watkins, right? But Watts is also good. Yes, you can have Watts also. And related things that go with Watts. And you can look at that as relationships with the family, and that's the kinfolk, right? So now you have the Watkin comes together. Kins and can also be the skins. Now, what are skins? We might have to go to golf and all the terminology that ever happens on the golf course. The par 3, the birdie, the eagle, and everything that exists there is a complete other story. But we're going to get back to where we are, to where I said this was 981. All the sides equals to 486, right? 486 is 864. It doesn't matter which order. They all talk about the same thing. They all do the same thing. 486. Another note I wanted to write down, because one of the things I marked was where is it? Hold on a second. I'm trying to. Wow, I lost my train of thought. 864. 846, 648, 684, right? On the 6th day, we're born into the house of Pluto. On the 6th day, we become the son to Zion, Israel. 0 equals 64. 9 equals to 42. 5 equals to 42. 6 equals to 52. When we get half of that, we get 432. We get half of that, we get 423. We get half. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. I wanted to get onto the I'm just, hold on a second. I'm just looking. 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. Right, where this one is 117, and this one is 216. So you notice 216 back to the moon, and then 117, 7 come 11. I split it in half. I split it in half, 2 halves of the week, right? Number of minutes in a day. Diameter of the sun. Hey, yes, I see you both. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Very happy to know that those who are here, and we're now together, listening, unscrambling. I'm going to get back to this, unscrambling the message. Where's the message going? Somebody will say, well, I'm not doing anything. I didn't do anything. You're hearing. You open the screen. We are in a system. Everything that goes on in the system is being marked down in the scribes. Everything is scribed. If you believe in anything as an alter creation, let's say, if there's a God and God knows everybody, they have a personal relationship, an interpersonal relationship, and when you leave this planet, they reverse those letters and go RIP, rest in peace. So we are eternal. The system is eternal. It's like what's on TV, you see on TV, everything's getting recorded. Every thought you have, every breath you take, it doesn't matter what it is. It's unbelievable, but it is what it is if you accept it to be that way. If you can go a little bit off that and make it a little bit more concrete, that's what your computer does. If you went back into any one of these websites, you will see that everything you have written, everything you have posted is still there somewhere, even if you do not see it. So do not say different. For the greatest of all creators that created this has done it the same way. The IT system, interstellar. So now I'm going to get a glass of water. I'm going to come back. You have any questions? I'm going to get back on. I'm going to finish this one little piece that I was on. And this is the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. I didn't create any of these things, and all my information comes from basically here. Tic-tac-toe. Nikola Tesla, Einstein, Neptune, Earth, Mars, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Pluto. I didn't make up any of these names. I didn't make up any of the names of the stars. I didn't position the planets. I only use what has been created and used by the smartest, most intelligent people for hundreds of years. Whether you go to Nostradamus, whether you want to go back, it doesn't matter what period of time you go back. If it's a word, it's the word of truth. And everybody knows it, and everybody has the capabilities of acquiring. Very few on this planet have not seen this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this. Very few. Very few people have never heard of the word electric in whatever language you speak. Very few, and some do not know. But what majority would you say if you said English? They would know what it is. They can say the English Channel. I'm going to get something to drink. I'll be back. Puss in Boots is sleeping. Oh, that's not what I want. Have you ever looked at something and said, hey, that looks like this? Well, how do you know it looks like that? How did you learn what the first item was in order for the second item you see in order to look like the first item that you've already seen, that you saw, that you're saying it looks like that? And then when you start to explain it, it becomes color commentary, the way we know it. So I'm going to bring the camera back down. So what is this? 7, 11. There's 9, and on the opposite side, 9. This equals 218. When I understand the plug up, how they plug it up with all opposite 7s. So we're going to have 6 and 1 equals to 7. So when I take 7 away from 18, I get 7, 11. So if I did the math on this, I can go 1 and 8. I can go 2 and 7. So irregardless, if I went in 1 and 8 and 2 and 7, here is 2 and 7. And here is 1 and 8. And when I flip that over, you're going to see 11. When 1 and 2 come together, 6 and 5 come together. So now what you're going to have is 3 and 11. And it's ironic that 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 will equal to what is 3. And it's ironic that 3, 1, 3 is what divides the gate. 3 and 4 divides that gate. 3 and 4 divides that gate. 2 doubles up and onto the other side, which is right over here, which is the numeric value inside the sun. It's also the numeric value that is replicated in our clock in seconds, 86,400 seconds in a day. Equals to 1,440 minutes. Equals to 24 hours a day. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 will equal to what is 6 and 8. 6 and 8. So when you have 6 and 8, you have 8. You have 6 and 2, 8. To what you have is 1 and 5, 6. Now, some of you that are here all the time, you probably see this all the time. I've been saying it all the time, but sometimes I find something new. That is the minimum and the maximum you can have. Why the minimum? When a dice is sitting this way, you can see 5 sides as it spins around, right? But there's one side you cannot see. So you're only going to use 5 at a time and 1, and 5 at a time and 1. So here you will not see the 5, and here you will not see the 1. When you flip them over, you don't see the 2 and 6. Queen, Mars. Quarters of time, the numeric value for Earth's jack and plug-in is 25 or a quarter. That quarter can be related to what is 1/3 electric. If you move it around, you see it moves it around in electric, 25 times 3. The electric will turn around, become what is the moon. The word MARS 51 inverts to HINZ 57. 6 and 3. Remember that 6 and 3, 360 degrees. 2160 up, 2160 of the moon divided by 36 equals to the 60 seconds, 60 minutes on the clock. To note that when we get to 7 times 11, 77, okay, which is matter, it's also Christ, will create 49 and 14, which equals to 63. The word 11 is inside of this. This will create 5 and 4. And now you have the king and the queen. So you had man at 13. You also have man at 5. But how do we get to 5? We have 1 and 4 equals to 5. 2 and 3 equals to 5. 9 and 5 equals to 14. 8 and 6 equals to 14. 7 and 7 equals to 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 1 and 4 is 5. 1 and 4 is 5. So we get back to what is 14. So now what we're going to have is we're going to get the bar ready. The bar is ready inside the E world. This brings out the EA. The B brings out the EA. It is bar. It is not bear. B and R coming together, which is, here's my B. And then here's my R, which looks like 13 and 12, the king and the queen. Is it the way it is? Yes, no, but irrelevant to the fact 1921. That reality. I can add the sounding of the B in for 26. I don't want to start with that part. So now what do we have for the queen? What do we have for the woman? Well, the woman part is 13, right? So this one is N, and the female becomes M. 13 and 14, right? This is the E. This is AD, or DNA, non-disclosure agreement. So when we have that, we have 9 and 4 equals to 13. We have 8 and 5 equals to 13. We have 7 and 6 equaling to 13. We have the 39. Whoop, that's 13. That's not the 39 angels. 13, 13, 13. So all of these are also adding to 4, right? 1 and, okay, 1 plus 3 equals to 4. That's ironic. 2 plus 2 equals to 4. 22 is for go. 22 is for ape. There is a difference. 2 letters and 3 letters. This one will be 22 and 32, ram. This one will be 22 and 81 equals to what is 59. I do not know the word inside here. I know it is for an example world. When you use EI, I think that's for example. I'm not going to get into that. They do have the same numeric value. It does divide the 6 and 8 gate, which is the house. The 6 and 8 gate, which is the house. The 6 and 8 gate in Mars, showing me in the house. When they come together, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is what creates 6 and 8. And the payout, when you wager in this, you put down 6 chips and you will receive 7. We also have to note that I did mark, right, when we look up Earth and Mars, did we get that over here? Oh, I hope I didn't miss it, but it doesn't matter. But because we get, I think I did it. We get Earth 52 and Mars 51. 103, you can say Jesus Christ, you can say AM, you also can get September. The English will tell you, the English from Quebec will tell you that the beginning of this says 7. You also get the planet Mercury. Remember to note that Mercury and Venus have no moons. They play a role somewhere else. They have no moons. They play a role somewhere else. So there is no dot in the sky. Let's see what we did, this and this. Yes, so when we came to over here, when I told you or is 33, but the inverted value from the alphabet where everything is 27, the inverted alphabet is 27. 1 and 26 equals to set 27. The greatest distance on this cube, right, is 1 and 8. And the 26 letter is 2 and 6, 8. So it's right over here. So when you do that, you end up with this and this. When you count all these sides, right, you count every single one, there's going to be 9 times 6, 54 color. When you count all the dots, there'll be 21 dots. If there's 21 dots and 54 colors, the balance is 33. When you multiply it and add it, it becomes 6 and 9 equals to 54. 6 times 9 and 6 plus 9 equals to 15. So you end up with 9 and 6. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 9 and 6. That is your rotation. One of them is connected to Mars, but it's Mars quarters. Mars is number 51. So 60 seconds on the clock, I revert it to what is quarters, Mars quarters. And this one is the division between the male and the female. We can call it maybe the king and the queen, right? The bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah ending, right? You're celebrating, is the bar mitzvah celebrating or entering into manhood? Because when you're 13 years old as a male, right, in the Jewish religion, right, you are ending 13 years. You are beginning the 14th year. And for the female, right, for the female, can we call it the opposite sex if we want? The opposite sex, right? Can we say it's the female and the opposite sex is 9? I don't know. Just a question. 1.5 times the other. Another relationship to Mars. Everything seems to relate to Mars, or Mars is 1.5 times a value. Now, when you get 1.5 times a value, once you use that word half, we also have to understand its relationship. Because if we're talking about a half an hour, we're talking about 30 seconds. Half is 5. 5 plus 0 is 5. 30 seconds is 3. So 3 and 5 have a balance of each other, which is also A, B, C, D. A plus B plus C plus D. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 10. A plus B plus C equals to 6. 10 is 1 plus 1 plus 0 equals 1, and 6, and then on the cube, you have 1 and 6 inverted from each other. We find everything that I'm going to talk about can be found by anybody all the time. Fish upon a wish. And they used to relate the fish to Jesus. And you know what? It just always goes back to the same thing. The flow of words. If I sent one word or one number down a string, and there was only one number that can arrive down the string, but it came in all pieces and parts. Only by the time it got to the end of the string can you see the number, right? But what I believe in this world is they took all these triangles. I like to call it the pinball star system. They took all these triangles and somehow they kept moving them around. And before they got to you, although it was sent today to get here by delivery, tomorrow, 1 day delivery, it seemed to have gone through all this system and you got the information 20 years later. What you need absolutely to live, you will live, but what you can hold off, it will be held off to you. So if I keep backing up everything and backing up, it gets stuck and it keeps rotating before you ever get it. Eventually, the information coming in doesn't come in anymore. So they send it off here. Then they send it off here into another part of the star system. And they keep sending off the information until the road is blocked. Those who control the core of the cube, right, cannot receive information and enough the rest of the information. They now have to start sharing. But there's many things in our way, although they're sharing and we're liking and we're advancing and it's starting to rotate. And when it goes back into the cesspool, we're sick. We don't feel good. So we're not processing the information we are receiving properly, possibly for health or financial reasons. Possibly because of arguments that shouldn't happen, because something that was caused to disturb our minds and our relationships are no longer good. But the information keeps on flowing and the wheel keeps turning. Well, we're at a period of time with 8,640,000 approximately, same as the diameter of the sun, where there's no more place for the pinballs. And the moon is burnt out. The analog moon has been used up. There's no more logging on the moon. Logging for wood known to be a part of that Fibonacci. I don't know, there's a cycle to do with it. I'm just using relationships right now, hypothetical relationships. I don't have any backing for some stuff, just logical and rational understanding for everything. So I'm not finished this yet. This is one with 13 areas. This one here is done with 12. There's a big difference. With 12, there's an exact dividing line. Call this one Mars. With 13, call this one Earth. The reason for that is the 9 area in the center will connect one area to each one and will create a 9 area center. It'll be 1 and 8. And then it'll be 1, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and 48. When you get to 40 and 48, it stops. 40 and 48 is 88. Now we have the heavens created, because 88, where do we get this? 88 is 40 and 48. What does it mean? What can we do with it? Doesn't mean anything. It's just another piece and part. 88 is purple. Purple's made by red and blue, hot and cold. 88 is Pegasus, constellation NGC 7286, 3643, rotation of the house of DC, 7286, 2 rotations of the house. 68 is the dividing house, starting with a 7, ending with a 6, inside the house of Mars and Earth. 3.5 and 3. 3 and 3.5. I've never used that one before. I don't want to use it. It becomes 3 and 8. So when you have 3 and 8, that is your that's when we come into the thirds. 3 and 8 is 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2, 3. 8 is 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4 and 4, 8. To where, if you understand, if you see, if you can see a little bit deeper, I'm not writing it down, is that where I worked with 1/3 and then 1/3 and 1/3 to where 3 and 8 are not even thirds of each other. It's where the when I got the 8, I had 22. So 22, before I got the 3, I had 11. So 11 is 2 times 11, which will create the other numeric value. And to create that value in the next level, 11 will be 3, and 22 will end up to be 8. Okay, the dividing gate. Let me see where else I am with this. So, dividing gate. So where am I in this? Yeah, so I was talking about the queen and the king and the okay. So when we're playing cards, you usually find the queen to be the 12th card. We're going to go 78, 87. The reason I go 78 is when I add up 1 through the 12th card, I equal to 78. The word 12 is 87. It's created by Q17. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 will equal to this numeric value, equaling to 15. The numeric value for Mars, 3 times 17 equals to 51. Everything must be multiplied by 3 and by 4. We don't need to go 13 and 14 because the 10 brings everything back to the beginning. 10 times 6 is 60 equals 6. So we're just going to use the second number. Now, if we want to use the addition number, it becomes the 8. So now it's a little bit different. So also the, let's say 3 times, I'm trying to figure out where it was. 3 times 1, 4, or 7 are all going to equal to 3. 3, 12, 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 1 and 2 is 3. The same thing with 2, 5, and 8, which equals to 6, which equals to 15, which equals to 24. 6, 6, 6. How about the word fox? So once you have fox in there, it's going to take you on another level. Here we're going to end up with 3, 3, 3. Here it's the clue. And what's ironic about this is 3, this is 6, right? 3 and 6, 6 and 3. 47, I think it is, by 9 equals to 63 and 36. 7 times, did we do this part over here where we got this part over here? 7 times 11 is 77. We have matter equals to 63, which is the word 11. 9, the numeric value for 11 is 9. It's going to create the letter I and R and the house of Beit. 18 and 9 equals to 27. This, in the game of craps, they're always calling for Yo-Alev. They always call for Yo-Alev. Well, the word Alev is student. Yo, the 25th letter for Earth and the 15th letter for Mars equals to 40. So we end up with what is 40. The other way, it ends up to be 103. The third way, it ends up to be 15 and 52 is 67. Back to Earth and Mars again. Earth and Mars. 13 is for man. If you notice, right, 44, they're both ending up to be what is 4. Where am I with this? Okay, so we're just going to go through this before I finish the math with this, or should I finish the math with this? Okay, I'll get to that later. So now we have this is what is perfect. Now, since it's so perfect, let's see if we can mathematically find it perfect. 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals to 9. We started with 3, and minus 3 equals to 6. Now we're going to go 6 and 6 and 6 equals to 18. We started with 6. We're going to minus 6. It equals to 12. 1 and 2 equals to 3. We're back to the same thing. The same thing happened. What happened is we went from 3 over to 6. There's a difference of 3. We went 6 over to 3, a difference of 3. Therefore, the two numbers are the same. If you want to do it again, we'll do it a different way. We'll go 5 times 3 equals to 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. We'll go 5 by 6 equals to 30. 3 plus 0 equals to 3. You want to go to 8? We'll do 8. 8 by 3 equals to 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 8 by 6 equals to 48. 48 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. So it's absolutely perfect. It's not there for any reason other than its own perfection that we have divided up. So now when we're working with 666 or with 333, whoop, that's not 333. So now that we're working with 666 and 333, if we're working from the cube base, we are going to end up with, see, this one is not the same. I have to remember, this is 6 and also 21. This also is 66. Now, it gets a little confusing because 6 and 6 is 12. I want to use these as individual numbers. Okay, I don't want to use, I shouldn't have marked it that way. Okay, I shouldn't have marked it that way. I want to use them as individual numbers. 6 and 6 equals to 12. 1 and 2 equals back to 3. And then 3 and 3 equals to 6. So you can see how they work together so perfectly. Now, what is this? On the cube, I keep losing my cubes, right? On the cube, what is 3 and 5 equals to 8 is going to be what is 2 and 4 equals to 6. Electric company, any craps. 2 and 4 divides the gate. This is that divided gate. The payout is 7 to 6. You put down 6 chips, you get back 7. So if you put down 6 chips, you put down Mars, and you get back Earth. 5 and 2 Earth, 5 and 1 Mars. You now have a collection. The other one for 6 is going to be 3 and 3. So if you have 3 and 3 equals to what is 6, you're going to have what is 4 and 4 equals to 8. So you have 44, you have space. You know, if you have space-time, you have 91 spirit. If you have 91 spirit, you remember that 3 and 4 that divides everything equals to 12 and 7 equals to 19 times 3 equals to 57. You have the spirit of the moon. You remember before I showed you that the opposite of the word Mars is this, 57. Well, if we were to create the artwork, right, H, here's the I, here is the H, and then I'll do it a little bit bigger. Okay, so here's the H, and then here's the I. Let me see if I can do this. Here's the H. Here's the I. And then what we have left over, what do we have left over? Let me see, do I have any other colors? Not happy I don't have enough color pencils. I keep losing them or something. They're somewhere. Oh, I got another green. So if we want to do N, this is what I do. So if I'm doing N, I'm going to take this out and take a look. Nope. Nope. There. See that line that goes down? So when that line goes down, you don't know which way it's going, right? So you have to see that line going down. So let's look at it the right way. Let's look at it face on. So when we do that for the N, we have the N, we have 5 and 2 up and down. When we do the Z, when we go for the Z, right, and this is the 14th letter, this is the 26th letter. When we do the Z, right, I need to do this, right? See that? I need to do that. So if I do that, right, the Z is the 1 and 6 up and down. And that's how I understand this. So this is going to be what? How do I call that? For both the 3 and the 2, right? The 2. Now, if the 2 is this way in the Z position, right? If the let me see if I can get that. If the 2 is in the, let me go 2. Let me just write that down. Number 2. When I put that number sign, it shows 9. Number 2, in the N position. So when 2 is in the N position, the 6 and 1 are up. When the 2, when number 2 is in the Z position, Z position, 3 and 4 are up. It can be up or down, U, D. Okay, up or down, U, D. Now we're going to go for, did I do that? So the 3, see the 3? When the number 3, okay, is in the N position, okay, when the number 3 is in the N position, it is 5 and 2, up, down. Let me just put that here. Up equals U and down equals D. Also note that there's 2 letters here. We're going to give it a 54 value. 21 and 16 equals to 37 and 17. We're going to have a connection to Mars' creation of the gate. Down is 4 equals to 108. So this has to be marked down as 81 and 27. I only can do 3 times and then 1 time. It gets separated. It's not the same. That's the way it's worked. I was also taught that in French. When you want to say 80, it becomes 4 times 20. So 3 and 4 are completely different. Also note that when you want to get to every single number except the opposite side, it's a 90-degree turn, right? There's 5 numbers. There's 5 numbers times a 90-degree turn for 450. When you want to go to the opposite side, there are 3 opposite sides, and it's 180 degrees equaling to 540. It's 180 degrees from 5 to 2. But every other one around here is going to be 90 degrees. Remember, 9 and 18. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6. Okay, we did that. We did this. Whoop, keep dropping this pen here. Where am I with this? So when we create this word Heinz, the entire word is inside this broken window. And note that when we have a completion of a star, I just want to mention something else, if I can just see this for a second. When I have a completion for a star, right, I can do this and this and this. And that's it. I will not use all 4 sticks. If I use all 4 sticks, I stop it from moving. 8 stops. Movement. 6 moves. 8 and 6, again, the dividing gate. 6 for Jack, 8 for the Queen, Jack, Queen, JQ, right? JQ, although J is the 10th letter, the reverse alphabet of these 2, the reverse cube of these 2, in the spirit of 76, talking about Earth and Mars again. So now we have number 3 in the Z position. Note that in the word position is an S and an I, and S and an I. It's talking about Mars, maybe the Mars post office box or something, right? When O-N comes together, I always refer that to a division, the O and the N. It's the same thing as A and B on the other side of the alphabet. It's the first 2 letters on the other side of the alphabet. So this one over here, is going to be 3. No, not 3 and 4. 1 and 6, right? 1 and 6. 1 and 6. 6 and 1, up and down. What's ironic is that the word 6 equals to 52. The word 1 equals to 34. The whole entire cube is explained, and the 6 is opposite of the 1. And the 6 dot is opposite of the 8. So you're looking at the 8 void to the 6 dot connecting house, the house planet. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to mention is we're going to continue on with the cube. And what we're going to do is we're going to go 1 and 5 to what is 6 and 2, to what is 2 and 4, to what is 5 and 3, to what is 3 and 3, to what is 4 and 4, equals to 8, equals to 6, equals to 8, equals to 6, equals to 8, 8 equals to 6. So this is your dividing house, like we were speaking before. Now, how do we get to number 3? The only way to really get to number 3 is 6 and 6 equals to 12 equals to 3. 7 and 5 equals to 12 gets to 3. 8 and 4 equals to 12. And 9 and 3 equals to 12. Note, 3 and 4 come together again at 12. Your heaven's birth through Venus, 1 times 8, 1 plus 8. And you divide the gate, and the game now becomes Baccarat and in the house of Saturn. The house of Saturn, you have the Sun Rat. S A T U R N. You have the Sun Rat, Saturn. That's the way I like to look at Saturn. So where else did we get in here? We got this, we got this, we got this, we have this. The invert to all these 6s is not the invert to this. We didn't mark here. Yeah, we marked here how we got all our 6s over here. We marked how we got our 3s over here. Angels, Pluto, and the sun, the moon, electric, woman, freedom. I'm a little bit all over the place now. I've opened up a lot of cans of worms, so we're going to finish off with this over here. And please note, I forgot to tell you this, but 888 as 888 as being the H, the Q, and the Z. You can almost look like it as headquarters for Fox. The inverse of 6 is 8. You have Fox headquarters. Fox equals to 45. Fox 45 headquarters to what is 51. Fox headquarters in Mars. We're going to use 15 and 17 over here. 1 and 5, 6. 1 and 7, 8. 3 by 15. 3 by 17. So now we're going to make this a little bit smaller. Just give me a second. There's one other thing I wanted to do, 60 and 6. Yeah, when we add these up again, we get 60 and 68 for the 4th level. Dividing gate inside of Mars to 60-second clock, but that can be hypothetical. I'm just trying to see what else. There was something else in here. I forget what it is. Okay, I'm going to leave it for now. And do note that the 8, right, also is located right over here. 888 is like 111, and dividing that 360, dividing, right, your 36 numbers when added 1 through 36 equals to 666. But when you have 1 over here and 36 over here, the center of that is 18 and 19, 17 and 20, 16 and 21, all totaling to 37. This is going to be 111. When you add 1 to 36, it equals to 666. Minus 111 equals to 555. Multiplied and added equals to 125 and 15. So you're talking about Earth and Mars, 52 and 15, the creation in Earth and Mars, the quarter creation in Earth and Mars according to time. But remember, there's many different types of times in sports. There's the 48 and 60 seconds, but there's 60 minutes, 48 minutes and 60 minutes, to where you have 3 times 20 minutes or 4 times 15 minutes, to where you can have the game of darts 120 at whoop, I don't want to mark, or you can put the game of pool. How do you get 120? Sorry, that's wrong. Wrong. It's 210 and 120. The reason for that, when you add up 1 to 20, when you add up 1 to 15, this equals to what? 21. This equals to 16. Again, back to the center of the numbers. This becomes 33. This becomes, what was that? Right. This is 6 and 2. 6 and 2. 6 and 2 the queen, 26 the card, the game. I'm just trying to think there's something else inside of this. Yes, and then there's the 4 times 12 equaling to 48. And now you're going to look at basketball. The numeric value for Pluto is 84, which is 3 by 28 cycle of the moon equaling to 84, which is 4 times 21. 2 people are playing with the game of dice, and you take 4 dice out to equal to 84, so you can match up the numbers to the 28-day cycle of the moon. 21 and 3 creation. I don't want to. So you have 1, 1, 1, 5 times 5 times 5, 5 plus 5 plus 5, and you end up with the king, 1 and 4 DNA, if you want to look at it that way. So we're going to finish this video a little late, an hour and 2 minutes. Good night, Tam. I'm done anyways. I just wanted to go through this real quick. 12th card, 13th card, king becomes 91. The numeric value for the king is 41, and also for home, it's 41. 91 is also the numeric value for the spirit. Ace is first. Queen card is the 11th card. When is the queen card the 11th card? When the ace card, okay, did I get that right? Hold on a second. The queen card is the 11th card when we start at 2 all the way to king ace. That's when it becomes the 11th. The king becomes the 12th card. So they become within each other, these numbers. The ace becomes the 13th card. So now the ace is showing me how it becomes man and dividing in the moon. Now the ace is first and last, considering that we use it twice. 1 and 14 equals to 15. The ace again, back to Mars. In blackjack, ace is 11. You can use ace as 11, so we're coming back to where the ace is 11. You can only have one of them. In Casino War, the ace is the 13th card. So when you use the ace, you add up to the spirit. We have the ace as the 13th card. And that's basically the entire deal. I kept it short. I know Tammy's tired and everybody else, even including myself. I'm not sure if where everybody is in the entire world. I like to go out and, somehow we should all get together and have a big powwow meeting, create our own program or create a program that we can share with the entire world, that we all can put a little input into it with whatever we know, and let the computer spit out what it is. Peace and love. Thank you for watching Raphael, where art from one's mind tells the story. Thank you for watching. Good night.